Hi everyone, I'm FlagonHG, and in this video, I'm partnering up with none other than PaPaSea to take on a randomized hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokémon FireRed. Welcome to the channel, PaPaSea.
Hey.
Hey. Well, to see what we define as Hardcore Nuzlocke Rules, check out the description below. But in short, no items in battle, no overleveling past the gym leader's ace before the start of the gym battle, and we're playing on set mode.
The randomizer settings are simple. Wild Pokemon are randomized according to their power levels, while the Pokemon that trainers have remain the same, and that's about it.
I'll be handling odd-numbered gyms and Elite Four members, PaPaSea will be handling even-numbered gyms and Elite Four members, and we'll tag team the champion. And to mix things up just a little bit, before handing the game off to each other, we need to choose one Pokemon in our party to release. Since this is our first collaboration, PaPaSea and I will be working together for this one.
So theoretically, we won't intentionally release good Pokemon just to screw each other over, but if you're interested in seeing some sort of sabotage run like that, let us know in the comments below.
Oh, and this video is just part one of this challenge. The second half will be on PaPaSea's channel, so go check out that video after you've watched this one. The link is in the description. With that, let's see how it goes. Since this two-part series starts on my channel, I get the honor of choosing our starter. My options are Chikorita, Seedot, and Machop. So I take the S-tier starter Chikorita, which basically gives me a free win against Brock. I name Chikorita Pear, and the journey begins. We have to fight our rival Green first, but since we have the superior Grass-type starter, we win the fight. After getting Pokeballs, I get my first encounter on Route 1, a Wynot. Shadow Tag makes this a potentially dangerous encounter, but at such a low level, Wynot doesn't know Counter or Mirror Coat. So I catch him and I name him Cool Blue. Then on Route 22, I catch a Mareep and name him Sherbert. Congrats, PaPaSea, you now have no excuse against Misty. On Route 2, I catch a Slugma, and then in Viridian Forest, I catch a probably randomized Kakuna named Mustard. Then I click Razor Leaf twice to beat Brock. Easy peasy. I decide to release Mustard from the team since Wynot can evolve into Wobbuffet and gives us access to really cool utility moves like Encore, Counter, and Mirror Coat. It might be able to get us out of some pretty sticky situations coming up. And with that, it's time to hand it off to PaPaSea. See you in a few.
I see that I'm left off in the Pewter City Pokemon Center, and FlagonHG didn't even bother to heal us, so thank you. I check the PC and see that he also didn't take out the potion from the PC, rookie, and I make it towards Mount Moon. I battle most trainers along the way and get Umakuhita that I named Bananas and add it to the team. Next up we have one of my favorites, the Magikarp guy in front of the Mount Moon Pokemon Center. Normally he gives you a Magikarp, hence why I called him the Magikarp guy, but since this game is randomized, we get an Exeggutor. Bananas would have been a great name for this Exeggutor, but since I just named Makuhita Bananas, I just name it Kale to stick with our flavor theme. In Mount Moon, I play it safe by using Slugma against any trainers that don't have any ground-type Pokemon, then use Chikorita against the few that do have ground-type foes. I then caught the Syncada in Mount Moon, which is neat because it evolves into two different Pokemon, sort of, and I named it Dirt. Not really a flavor, but I think it's a flavor of one of those weird, like, jelly bean mystery games that you see on the internet. And after defeating the Super Nerd at the end, I take the Dome Fossil because it represents Chaos, I think. On Route 4, I teach Makuhita Mega Punch and Mega Kick because why not, and prepare to grind up for Misty. I could just go battle the rival up north and all of the other trainers on the Nugget Bridge, but they scare me, so I'll just grind on the Route 4 grass for now. In the grass, we get a Togepi that I named Cotton Candy, and then Mareep and Chikorita both evolve. They both type trump Misty's water-type foes, so I head in with Flaffy, click Thundershock 3 times, and beat her in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. The level cap only raises by 3 here, and we still have to beat our rival up north and go see Bill, and then also go into the SSN and beat our rival again. I'll just let FlagonHG deal with that, since these rival fights give me bad flashbacks. I'm sure he'll be fine. I also release Why Not because it's pretty useless.
Don't believe PaPaSea. He's a liar. He forgot to release Wynot, so I had to do it. Classic PaPaSea, making me do his dirty work. Speaking of, he also left me with the super scary rival battle against Green. Man, this is truly one of the most challenging and difficult battles in the entire game. Yes, very challenging. Thank goodness I have hours and hours of Nuzlocking experience to prepare me for clicking Thundershock and Ember. After that, I round up some more encounters. On Route 24, I catch an Azurill, which has huge power and a lonely nature. That's an amazing nature. Boxed. On Route 25, I find an Ekans, but Fruit Punch's Flame Body burns it, and then we get a critical hit Ember, so the Ekans dies. Oh well. Then I help Bill, who has accidentally Pokemon'd himself. I try not to judge, but there's gotta be a pretty weird story as to why he did this, right? Well, on to the next city. On Route 5, I catch a female Nidoran named Blackberry, boxed. And on Route 6, I catch a Whismur named Peach, boxed. And then on Route 11, I catch a Spearow named Brown, my favorite flavor, boxed. There's just duplicate encounters in Diglett Cave, so I don't get an encounter there. So after beating Green on the SS Anne and gently soothing an ailing man's pains with the restorative powers of my soft yet firm 10-year-old hands, I'm able to challenge Lieutenant Surge, after I use my soft yet firm 10-year-old hands to rummage through like 20 garbage cans. Given that PaPaSea found an Exeggutor, most of these gyms are going to be pretty trivial. It's a pretty strong Pokemon, especially at this point in the game. Kale isn't able to one-shot the Voltorb, but after it heals, 2 more attacks take it out as it just uses Screech twice. Pikachu comes in and tries to get away with setting up double teams, but Kale doesn't care and just kills it with a Confusion. Raichu tries the same thing, but Kale still couldn't care less. He also confuses Raichu, which causes Lieutenant Surge to use a full heal. And with that, Eggy has Confusion spammed his way through the entire 3rd gym. Per the rules, I have to release a Pokemon. I don't want to release Nincada, so I release PaPaSea's Makuhita. Be free, small child.
I guess my punishment for just putting the Nugget Bridge on Flygon HG means that we now have to do the Rock Tunnel, my least favorite part in this game. To get the Flash HM, we need to have 10 Pokemon in our Pokédex, and you'd think we have that by now, but we don't, since it only counts Pokemon in the Kanto Dex. I run around and catch a bunch of random Kanto Pokemon that we won't use, but I just get them to fulfill the Pokédex requirements to get the Flash HM so I can actually see in the cave. I also noticed that for some reason he decided to release our only fighting type Pokemon in the Makuhita that I just caught, when Nincada is just sitting there and not doing much. I guess it does evolve pretty soon and we'll get a Shedinja out of it alongside the Ninjask, so it isn't a terrible idea to keep it, but I really wanted Makuhita for the upcoming Giovanni fights in the Game Corner. Before we get to the Game Corner though, we need to go through Route 6 where I caught a Bellsprout named Lemon and add it to the team. I then evolved Nincada so we get a Shedinja out of the deal and keep the Shedinja on the team because it could be useful in some weird situations against trainers who don't have any super effective moves for it. Right outside the Rock Tunnel, I catch a Vulpix and name it Cherry, and then in the Rock Tunnel, I get a Gulpin. This must be destiny because I love Gulpin, it's one of my favorite Pokemon alongside with Swalot, so I caught it and named it Grape. I don't add it to the team just yet though because I want to keep the Bellsprout on our team and evolve it into a Victory Bell and have an honor battle against Erika's Victory Bell in the gym. Now if you don't know what an honor battle is, it's basically when an important trainer like a gym leader sends out Pokemon you have, you also send out that same Pokemon. It's sort of a pseudo rule I like to follow, and as you can imagine it doesn't always go over so well. Rock Tunnel itself wasn't too bad though thanks to Bayleaf, and I skip all of the Lavender Town and Silence Bridge area so Flygon HG could do it later and get some new encounters. Although looking at the Google Doc we share, it seems like he fails a lot of encounters. Right outside Celadon City we get another great encounter though, which is a Barboach that I named Shrimp, and once in Celadon City I get the Eevee which was randomized to a Chansey. It's level 25 and is a very bulky Pokemon, so I can see us using it somewhere down the road. The level cap is 29 for Erika's grass type gym, and there's a lot to do in this middle part of the game, so I decided to tackle the Game Corner now and switch train Bellsprout against the Grunts. This goes well up until Giovanni, who has a full fighting weak team, but of course we don't have our fighting type anymore, thanks Flygon HG. But at least 2 of his 3 Pokemon are still 400% weak to grass, so Bayleaf takes care of his lead 2 Pokemon, while I go into Exeggutor to finish off his ace Kangaskhan. I then realize that we can get the tea from this lady to visit Saffron City and get the Psychic TM for Exeggutor that will be useful for Erika's part poison type Pokemon. I also noticed that in our berry case, Flygon HG seems to just get every berry he finds because we have a lot of berries like some Petra berries that will help us against this Erika fight. I then battled the junior trainers in Erika's gym and switch trained the Bellsprout a bit to level it up, but unfortunately while trying to switch train that Bellsprout so I can evolve it and have an honor battle against Erika, we coincidentally get wrapped by one of the junior trainers' Bellsprouts in an honor battle of itself, I guess you could say. meaning we can't switch out and Bellsprout's HP gets so low that it eventually falls. This is our first death of the run, shocker that it would be a death that I caused, and I guess it isn't a terrible loss since the optimal strategy would be to just use Slugma or Executor for Erika's gym, but I really wanted to have an honor battle. The Pecha Berry did come in handy for the Erika fight though, as she tried to poison powder us, as Slugma takes more damage from her victory bell than I would have liked, so I go into Executor to finish off the fight and take a poison powder and cure it thanks to our berry, then Psychic her intrepid team into oblivion. We still have to release a Pokemon on our party though as part of the rules that we set at the start of this run, so I released the Ninjask because I figure we'd rather have Shedinja over it for now. And I know Flygon HG must like this Ninjask because in the doc that we share he labeled it Queen, so this is revenge for him releasing Makuhita for no reason.
Well, as with most days, I wake up completely disoriented in the middle of a new city with no recollection of how I got there or what happened the day before. The first thing I do is go to check the PC to see what kind of havoc PaPaSea has wreaked on our joint adventure, and immediately I find out that PaPaSea is not only a liar, but he is also a dirty, dirty cheater. He released Ninjask but kept Shedinja. Last time I checked, Shedinja is not the name of a flavor, PaPaSea. I release it immediately. Then I decide to extend an olive branch and bring Grape the Gulpin onto the team. I know Gulpin is one of PaPaSea's favorite Pokemon, and I figured I'd do him a solid. Plus, I'm preemptively doing this so that PaPaSea doesn't kill a Flygon that we might find. Feels like something he would do. Shrimp the Barboach also joins the team. And then we can get a bunch of new encounters, starting first with a Jigglypuff on Route 7, which I named Pepto, and a Wingull from Route 16, which I named Sour Cream. With the new level cap, a lot of our teammates can also evolve. Shrimp evolves into Whiscash, Sherbert evolves into Ampharos, and Grape evolves into Swalot. Then I plow through Rival Green again, this time with Thunder Punch instead of Thunder Shock. I've done all the rival fights so far, but pretty soon PaPaSea is going to have to do his first one, and I just hope that he's able to somehow come up with a strategy as good as the ones that I've employed so far. Then, in Pokemon Tower, I catch a Vibrava! Amazing! I name him Watermelon, and thanks to Grape the Swalot being on the team, we find ourselves in a very interesting position. I can't kill Grape because PaPaSea would retaliate with killing Watermelon, but the opposite is true too. Grape and Watermelon are now linked, their fates determined by one another. Either they both live, or they both die. From here, I complete the mission to save Mr. Fuji, who tries to take credit for calming Marowak's restless spirit even though I was the one that did that. Then he gives me the Pokeflute, which I play so poorly that it wakes up the Pokemon whose one defining characteristic is that it sleeps. But this Snorlax ends up being a Slowpoke, which I catch and name Pink, my second favorite flavor of Starbursts. Then it's more encounters. An Ekans named Plum from Route 17, a Tentacool named Jam from Route 18, and a Swinub named Bacon from Route 15. I also whiff on catching a Meowth from the Safari Zone. Then Pair evolves into Meganium. I do a bit of training to get closer to the level cap here, but I get impatient and decide to just challenge Koga with everyone pretty underleveled. But it's gonna be fine, because Kale will just Psychic spam his way through the entire gym. Psychic does kill Koga's coughing, but Muck hangs on and gets off a Minimize. Fortunately, Kale hits a Confusion as Koga heals, and then also a Psychic since, as we've already learned, Kale does not care about evasion. Another Psychic kills Koga's second coughing, and then Wheezing comes out. He outspeeds, which I wasn't expecting, and hits a Smokescreen, which I also wasn't expecting. This causes Kale to miss Psychic, which I wasn't expecting. Then Wheezing hits a Sludge, which does way more damage than I was expecting. But fortunately, it didn't crit, and then Kale hits a Psychic, netting us an unexpectedly close victory. Dodged a bullet there. After that, I release Shrimp, whose short tenure on the team has unfortunately come to an end. And with that, part 1 of this challenge is over. Be sure to check out part 2 of this playthrough over on PaPaSea's channel. The link to the video is in the description below. And thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching, please like the video and subscribe. Or don't. I don't know. But I do know that you should subscribe to PaPaSea's channel. He's a great guy, and I've really enjoyed collaborating with him, so go give him a sub. You can also follow me on Twitter and Twitch to keep up with streams of my future challenges, and you can join the Flygon HG community Discord where you can discuss Nuzlocking and make recommendations for future challenges. The link to everything is in the description. Stay tuned for more Nuzlocke videos, and until then, remember to always, always, always play around the critical hit.